As always, we got Gunny Matheson, Joe Schmidt, and our special guest today.
All right.
Okay, we good?
Yeah. Hey, what am I supposed to say? We're back.
All right. Yeah, all right.
All right.
We're back with another episode of the show.
All right.
As always, we got Gunny Matheson.
All right.
It's like a rap song. It's got to be the same fucking rhythm every time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's your mission statement. Okay, good? Episode 100, Troy Compton.
All right. We're back with another episode of the show. As always, we got Gunny Matheson, Joe Schmidt, and our special guest today, Troy Compton.
Dude, that was perfect.
Yeah, that was
It
good,
was
man.
methodical, rhythmic. By the 100th episode, you have it nailed.
You have no idea the focus I had to use.
You've
to
been practicing in the mirror? Or
a little bit. You got to get it right. Well, Troy, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Troy, for anybody that doesn't know, multiple AQHA world champion, multiple Congress champion. So 9, 10
But
times
riding
Congress
some reining
champion.
horses now.
Yeah, riding some reiners. That's all
Yeah.
I'm doing now.
Yeah. Cool.
Selling a few ranch riders, just small. We got 6 head, 5, 6 head. Alicia and I are doing everything ourselves, cleaning stalls, saddling. Yep.
Well, that's what you're doing now, but let's go back to the good old days.
All right.
So, one of the best pleasure horse trainers that ever did it. You probably won't say that, but I've asked around a little bit, and I knew because I was around then, but I wasn't really. I was into the reiners, not really following the pleasure horse guys. But back in the day, we didn't have all the social media. We read the Quarter Horse News, and that's how you knew who was winning what in all the different events because we
journal.
had
You read about him in the journal.
Quarter Horse Journal and the Quarter Horse News was two things. So and
Tom could read then,
and I could read
A little bit.
I can read now. Oh, what's the difference?
Huh.
And anyway, you and I were talking a little bit. This fun story. This is we had a moment when we were sitting around at the Derby, just visiting about the old days and some of the guys we knew, Doug Lilly and where you started. You worked. I had no idea, but you worked for Doug.
Yeah, I worked for Doug for 3 years. Yeah. Went to California when he was out there in California, and then moved back here when he went to work for Edgewood, and stayed with him there until I went to work for Jody Gallion.
So what wife was Doug on at that point?
Number two.
For the whole time?
Until I think the day I left, I think she left at the same time.
Yeah. No, that was some good times because I can remember. So what did you do? How old were you when you went to work for Doug?
Been 19, 20, something like that. Yeah.
So you probably went from high school to
No,
working.
I went from high school down here to Dave Page.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to go work for Tommy Mannion, but he didn't have a spot for me, and he always said I had a job with him, but when I went to have it, I was going to be 5th in line or something. So he got me a job over at Dave Page's right next door, which was a really good place to go. I spent 1.5 years there, and then Doug was coming in and getting ready for the pleasure fraternities, and he noticed me riding there and offered me a job, and I went out to California then in 84, I guess.
Yeah. And wasn't Dave primarily the halter horses?
He was halter, but we had pleasure horses. We had a pleasure horse barn down there. Probably had like 20 head of pleasure horses in there. It was a pretty big operation. And then he had me riding all the pleasure horses then, and that's how Doug noticed me.
And that was in Pilot Point?
Aubrey, right next to Tommy's place.
Okay.
Well, yeah, Pilot Point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Doug noticed you. Where'd you grow up?
Kansas, Oklahoma. I was born in Oklahoma, and then that was right when the horse show thing was starting out, and my dad was a horse trainer.
Yeah.
And so he went to work for Tommy Mannion when he was up in Springfield, Illinois. And then we went to work, then he left out of there and bought his own place in Wichita, Kansas. And Wichita was pretty hopping back then. Actually, Cooper Smith's granddad, we used to go over there all the time to Dick Cole's place, Sonny Thomason.
Yeah.
And we were right in that little area there until we moved to Oklahoma in into 75. Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys. That's a great place for a kid to get horse fever, huh?
Oh man, we were around Sonny. I don't know if you guys know who Sonny Thomas was.
I know who he is. Yep.
Yeah, well, Dick Cole is Cooper's granddad, and they were big time horse traders back in the day, and probably were most of the good horses. My dad would win Fort Worth and those big stock shows with horses we got straight out of the pens over there at Sonny's. Yeah.
Yeah. No, a lot of stuff going on, and that's and there wasn't so many distractions then for a kid. I mean, those were your heroes, those guys.
Oh yeah, there was PRCA guys that worked at Sonny's because it was just they weren't stall horses. They were big pens, and you went and picked them out of the pens, and they'd break them out. And those PRCA guys, I'd get on broncs over there when I was a little kid, and we had a blast. It was it was fun hanging out there. Yeah,
yeah. Cool. And then so you went to work for Dave's, and then you went to Tommy's, and Tommy was out there, or not Tommy, excuse me, Doug. And Doug was out there the whole time you worked for him. He was in California?
No, we were there for about a year and a half, maybe, a little over that. And then he took a job with Edgewood, where Toy On is right now.
Gas prices.
Yep.
Gas prices got to him.
Yeah. What part of California was that?
Southern, like Bonsall is the name of the town, Fallbrook, Escondido. We're about 15 miles inland from Oceanside.
It's amazing because we could be talking about anything and Joe would be asleep. But if you say California, he knows every nook and every town. Oh, yeah, I know. That's right next to so-and-so down the 101 to the deal.
Yeah, Oceanside, right?
California.
Yeah.
California.
We used to take the Colts and go right up the hills at lunch and get our T-shirts full of avocados.
Oh, really?
We'd have to teach those Colts to climb up and down the hills and come down, and it was pretty fun, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was beautiful out there. That's probably my favorite place I ever rode horses was out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 72 every day. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
From there to Pilot Point, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you and I were talking. Tell about not getting paid for 2 or 3 months.
Oh, man, towards the end, Doug wasn't great with his money, right? But the wife always had a brand new Mercedes and things like that. So Charlie Cole and I and another guy from Ohio were working for him, and we went for about 3 months without getting paid. Right towards the end, because Doug was broke. That's why we had to take the job at Edgewood. But we were borrowing money off of Charlie's mom, and just we figured out how many slices were in a loaf of bread, like for the week, and bologna sandwiches, and it was tough, but we stayed.
Yeah.
We got caught up somehow, like when we got back here to Texas. I don't know, different time.
Yeah, different time. You know, now
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine how long your help would stay if you didn't pay him?
No.
You miss one, and
those jobs were hard to get, though.
Yeah, they were.
You know, they were hard to get where you could get exposed like that and get those types of horses and go to horse shows and go down the road. Yeah.
Well, weren't you saying the other day, you sent your resume out to like 2 places or something?
Well, no, I didn't send my resume out anywhere.
He lies.
I needed to go. My dad at one point told me I needed to leave the town that I grew up in. It's time for you to go. And my friends were.
He was doing real good. He was excelling.
Yeah.
He was excelling. So his dad said, "On to bigger and better."
Yeah, I was real good at doing nothing and pool. Those were the 2 things. Playing pool and doing nothing were the 2 things I was really good at. So Dad said, "Time to go." So I called Jim Dudley because he didn't live too far from there, and I could still get back and forth. He was in Latimer, Iowa, which is 3-4 hours south. And so I called Dud and I said, "Hey, I want to use your name on a resume. I'm going to send a resume to Al Dunning and Bob Avila. Can I use your name on a resume?" And I had no intention of doing that. Those guys were too far away from my hometown. So he says, yeah, sure. But I could tell the wheels were turning. I hung up the phone, waited for 20 minutes. Sure enough, the phone rings back. Well, what exactly are you looking for? So that's how I ended up at Dud's. But yeah, but to your point, there wasn't the opportunity now. Now, if you're worth a shit, there's 10 guys that need you.
Yeah. It's changed a lot. Industry was a lot smaller then. You guys got a lot more money involved. The numbers are, although at Doug's, we did 65 head and 4 of us riding.
Yeah.
You know, and we rode everything every day. Doug, we worked. We met for breakfast at 5:15 every morning, and that's in California. We didn't have to worry about the weather. And we rode till 7 at night, got something to eat, and then we'd have 60 head that we'd have to go back and put sheets on because it was up there in the desert, right? So we didn't get to bed till 11 o'clock at night or something. We went hard. We went horse showed a lot, but those jobs were hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
I remember Summers got the job at Tommy's, and that was a great job to have then. And then Jody's was the best. That's where he was starting to win a lot. So I finally got the point where I got the job with Jody. So that was like going to finishing school there.
Right.
Yeah.
I met Doug Lilly when I worked for you. You had nothing but nice things to say about him. I don't know if you remember, but
yeah,
he was good to you when you first got started in the business, huh?
100%. Yeah.
Doug was great on a horse. He could show a reiner as good as anybody. Like his circles were amazing. That's so much of the stuff I learned from him. Were there's a lot of things I learned not to do, but there's a lot of things I learned to do there too.
Yeah. Some of the financial decisions were questionable.
Right. That's what made.
Yeah. But when you put him horseback, he was. I mean, everybody tells me he was. He was as good as anybody.
And we did 65 head. And he always told us if you couldn't get it done in 20 minutes or less, you weren't much of a horse trainer. And there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Especially
Jason Van Lanningham rides his horses very quick now because what we do with them is a 5-minute, 3-minute pattern.
And these horses are different nowadays too. These things are like you get on them and they're doing stuff already.
They're good.
If they don't take their leads, we don't buy them. If they don't switch leads, we don't buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things we had to teach them back in the day. Like it took a long time to do that sometimes.
And there was some that couldn't. Like anymore, I bought one at the Derby, and I loped him around, turned him a little, stopped him a little bit. I didn't even. He's very green, and I didn't even change leads on him because I haven't met one in 20 years that couldn't change leads.
Right.
I mean, they're all bred to do that now, unless they're just a horrible, trashy mover. But this one wasn't. And we don't really. When's the last time any of us have had one that couldn't change leads?
I had one last year, I think, that somebody else had kind of ruined, and I couldn't fix it.
Did I do it?
No, I don't think it was that one.
I am good at screwing that up.
But no, for most part, no.
If you get a fair shot at it, if you get a fair shot at it, most of them can change leads nowadays.
Yeah. I think these horses in a whole are almost like domesticated with how we bred them. Like they're no longer wild animals; they're pets.
Right.
They're friendly.
They're so much more trainable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to, I don't want to be the, talk about, the old days and stuff. But Gunny can remember because he worked for me. How long ago? 25
years.
25 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah. And the quality of livestock today, it was 25, 30 years ago. You had to be more, in my opinion, you had to be more of a horseman 25 or 30 years ago because the horses weren't as forgiving. We've bred them so good now for so long that these horses forget or forgive a lot of the mistakes that
I haven't
guys
been
make.
Wedged between a round pen and a wall in the arena since I worked for you.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened since then.
Yeah. No, I got stuck in a corner when I worked for Casey Entons one time.
Yeah, I got stuck in between a round pen and a fence at Cardinal, and I turn around and everybody's cracking up laughing at me.
Yeah.
And my legs are stuck underneath the fence. Like, can somebody fucking help me?
Yeah.
Like, just sit there and laugh? I mean,
yeah. And that was back in the old days when somebody getting in a good wreck was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's still funny.
Yeah, now nobody throws their hats underneath each other's colts.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no, it's different. It's different days. But yeah, moving back here so when I moved down here in 88, which was right at the end of all the really crazy times. When did you move here?
I was here 83 and 84. I was gone 85 and moved back in beginning of 86. So 86 and 87.
So you got to see a lot of the good stuff.
I worked at Edgewood.
Yeah.
I worked at Edgewood.
Yeah.
We shot Playboy's Farm and Ranch Girls there at Edgewood.
wow.
Yeah.
And I got to be an assistant.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard that place is for sale this year. Like the same person own it now?
Oh
No.
no.
No. It's been traded.
It has?
Yeah.
Okay.
Toyon owns it now. Yeah.
Oh,
John,
isn't there another one across the street down from there?
Oh, that's Bill Lanning's place you're probably thinking of. Yeah. Yeah, they were the managers at Edgewood forever.
Gotcha.
Bill and Ann, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the stories I heard, I mean, they said on St. John Road, you could hear in the morning, you could hear the lion roar. They had a couple of lions or tigers
we had
or whatever.
everything there. It was nuts. I wasn't here. When I moved down in 83, I remember we were maybe 3 weeks here and DKG got busted. And if you didn't have a Cuban drug dealer in your barn, you really weren't rolling back then, you know?
100%.
Yeah, like even though I got to Jody's, we still had, George Valdez, who was one of the biggest Cuban drug dealers there was. He's on Cocaine Cowboys now.
Yeah.
If you go watch Netflix.
I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, if you watch Netflix, I can name you about 4 or 5 of them on there that were show horse people that I knew. Like,
wow. That's awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah. Those times, I was so disappointed. I was talking to a guy.
Dude, we're having another episode. Netflix with Troy.
Yeah. No, a guy popped into my barn the other day. He owns a fabrication company around the corner, and he popped in for whatever reason, just talk about some stuff. And I never met him before. And we're talking. He says, "Yeah, no, a long time ago. I've been around a long time. It's probably 70 years old." He said, "Yeah, I built Mike Hughes's place, did all the." And I said, "Oh, Mike Hughes's place." He says, "Yeah, I was young. That was pretty crazy." He said, "I had a lot of fun."
It was fun around here. There's too much fun a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Did your dad call you and say, "Troy, you got to leave"?
No.
No,
That
there
only
was
happens to Tom.
Yeah, but he was working for a living.
Oh, okay.
I was doing nothing. Every dime I made when I was that age was from playing pool. You go on a long cold streak, and I was plumb broke. So, yeah, no, that was good. But I can remember Todd Summers telling me, "Hey, you got to come down to the Four Horsemen. You got to come down to the Four Horsemen." I mean, the Four Horsemen back in the day was the shit, huh?
It was any night of the week you wanted to go up there. It didn't matter. Maybe Monday was a little slow, but Tuesday on, yeah. It was hopping around here.
It's done now, huh?
It's done. There's nothing, and I don't know why the industry's changed like that, because I guess the money's gotten so big and the hours, but not even the hours, because the hours were long when you were.
Yeah. We're at the barn at, every 7 days a week at 6:45.
Yeah.
I mean, even Sundays we were there, even if we cleaned tack.
Yeah.
But and you showed up but we were young then. Like you could live with a hangover a little bit easier back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but I feel like the kids today don't ever go out and do all that. That was legendary. Those times were phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember going up to the Phase 2. Remember?
Dude,
Yeah.
I got a girl that works for me that thinks her middle name is Lowbrows, buddy.
Yeah, Lowbrows is pretty cool.
Yeah, Lowbrows is Sesame Street compared to the Phase 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You had to be ready to fight when you went into the Phase 2. You had to be up for anything.
100%.
Yeah.
The Phase 2 in Lindsay, Texas.
Lindsay, Texas. Y'all drove all the way out there.
Well, I lived in Gainesville then.
Yeah, all the Rainers are up there then.
Dude, whenever I moved here, we went to the Silver Spur.
Yeah.
Where's
burned
the
down.
Silver Spur?
Out
Just
there in Lynn,
the
like
Phase
right
2.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Same place.
Yeah.
Yep. It was the Phase 2 first and then turned into the Silver Spur.
Yeah, and we all used to get together on Friday nights and run to Cowtown. Saturday night, maybe run back down there again. And Sunday night was always, a good time down there at Cadillac. So we'd all hang out together. They used to, Silver Dollar. Remember going to Silver Dollar in Denton? Maybe that was probably before you got down here.
Maybe.
The Wednesday or Thursday, they had coin night over there. You could take a penny in and drink. And yeah, that was a place we all went then.
Yeah, well, I lived in Gainesville, so I didn't need anything other than the Silver Spur or the Phase, whichever one. Right when I was there, it's kind of when it's like one sold to the other. But yeah, that was good times, because at that point I was working in Italy, so I would work all year and come back, and I would be back here from like December. November, December, January.
Mhm.
And I'd maybe have one horse to show at the fraternity or something, maybe 2, and then buy a couple others to take back to Italy. So I had 2 or 3 horses, and
Lots of time.
my biggest disappointment was the one night a week that place was closed. I went every other night. But, you know, and the things have changed so much because there was always, and I don't know if you ever played pool, did anything, there was always a line of quarters on the pool table.
Mhm.
It was always assumed that it was a money game.
Yep.
It was all, you know.
You had
now,
to shoot pool. Everybody shot pool back.
Everybody shot pool.
Yeah. Kate, you shoot pool? All right.
Yeah, big money.
Yeah. No, Kate's got a pool table in his house
Oh, okay.
now, but it wasn't that's just not the culture now. Mandy was out of town. She was went and watched Carly show somewhere, and I thought, you know what? By God, I'm gonna go make some money. I'm gonna go shoot a little pool. This is the goodest college town. This should be easy money. Pool tables are empty. I've never been so disappointed.
Oh,
Pool
yeah.
I
tables.
would have gave you my money. You didn't call me. It was probably free that night too, unless I went to a movie.
Yeah, unless you
Yeah,
went
that's
to a
when
movie.
you went to see F1.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't call Tom.
Exactly.
How
No.
long did you stick around the Pilot Point area for?
Till I got a job offer from Jody Gallion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You
That
said
was,
that was the job to get, huh?
Yeah, it was it. Todd had just left. Summers had just left, so I think he'd been gone a few days, and I moved into the trailer house up there. And Jody just won the cutting futurity, and you know it was Jody knew how to win. Obviously, Bo and Wesley and everything. Jody was just changed my mentality a lot. So, and he was the guy then. He could figure out if that guy wanted to go win the All American futurity. I think he could figure it out. You know.
So what
Man.
about Jody? What was the mindset?
It was no excuses. You know, we were up there, a pretty place up in Ardmore. We lived east of Ardmore. We had no distractions up there. And I loved it coming out of this and getting to go up there. We just trained horses. And first day I walked in, he said, see that barn there? I said, yeah. He said, that's a pleasure horse barn. That's your barn. I said, see that barn? I said, yeah. He said, that's a cutting horse barn. It's my barn. So I just went to work, and then you just did your job. And if he didn't like what he saw, he'd tell you, and you were expected to figure it out. And then a lot of guys didn't make it. I think Summers and I were really probably the only 2 assistant trainers he had that made it out of there. But if you could take it, Jody was, he was, I wouldn't have traded going anywhere.
Crazy odd combination, cutters and pleasure horses.
Yeah, to a certain degree, but then there's so much that we started combining, like on my pleasure horses, where I thought it separated me a little bit from the rest of the pleasure horse guys about getting them to sit on their hocks. And we use the pleasure horses to turn back. Like we had the arenas right beside each other. Well, I'd go over there and just take my colts and bump cattle around and turn cattle. And I was starting the colts on cattle. And
Just treating them like horses and using them.
yeah, well, and that's where
good
you get
for 'em.
specialized, and you forget about all the stuff that you got to do to get a horse really broke, like just ground manners and things like that. Just there's a lot of things today when I go to these barns that these horses don't have ground manners, and it drives me crazy.
I hate it.
Yeah. So I think horse training is universal in some aspects.
I think you're right.
Yeah, just make him a horse first.
Yeah, they got to get broke.
Yeah, and wasn't Jody's dad was exclusively in the cutters, right?
No, Kenneth was an all-around trainer.
Oh, he was?
originally. Yeah, he was. He did everything. They did everything, but he migrated over to strictly cutters. Yeah. And Kenneth helped me a lot. Like Kenneth would come down and stay, and he'd come out and fence and watch me, and I'd ask him things, and he'd help me. Jody wouldn't help me that much, but he'd sure tell you when it was wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Man,
you use a very descript 4-letter word that sounds like duck? I thought that was my middle name a few of those days. I'm like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that that tactic for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm hard on my help because I had it, given to me.
Yeah. No.
You didn't soften your approach or anything?
I did for the first 10 years on my own.
It
And I
didn't
started
work?
realizing what dumb shit people do and pisses you off. You get short-tempered. You go back to what worked.
What you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people you've had work for you that they leave and then they come back about 5 years later and they go, "Oh, now I see what you were saying."
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But it was good there at Jody's. I stayed there for 3 years working for him. And then he came to me at the end of 3 years and said he was quitting the pleasure horses, and I could either stay on and help with the cutters or go do something else. And I was okay. And then he came in and said, "I want you to just take my business." So I had the Walmart family, the Waltons, and he just handed the thing right over. And I stayed there for another 2 years, working out of his place. And actually, after that, it got really good because
you were successful taking care of his customers and.
Yeah, well, he turned them over to me. I started billing the customers. He actually I'd used his rig till I could get it. Nobody could have helped me more than that. Looking back on it, that was pretty unusual to have somebody help you that much, but just hand you a business.
Yeah.
And so, of course, first year I go out and win the world and just establish myself right off the bat. So it made it very simple.
Right.
If you had to want to, right?
Yeah. He seems like a polarizing kind of person. I went to Taylor Sheridan's place to watch a cutting once, and I don't know any of those guys. And just so happened to be sitting right next to him. He introduced himself like we had known each other forever and talked for an hour. It was really fun.
Yeah. And you get around Wesley. I don't see Bo that much, but I'm around Wesley quite a bit. And you can see that how that mentality rubbed off on Wesley. Yeah. They figure out how to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're good with horses. Very good with horses. Jody was a great horseman.
Yeah. And I don't feel like that's the definition of polarizing, but he was very engaging, maybe.
No, he drew me to it.
Polarizing is
pushing you away.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. No, hey, I'm happy to help.
We should probably Google that. Charlie.
I thought I used it. I thought I used it okay.
I was impressed. I felt.
Can you pull up polarizing, please?
It says, in terms of physics, it is to restrict the vibrations wholly or partially to one direction.
No, that's not even close to what we're looking for, Charlie.
No, Can you do the non-physics definition? I thought it was a great adjective.
Okay. To cause division and create sharply opposing groups or factions?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, he wasn't that. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No.
Yes.
So he was
fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Shit fire.
Charming.
I got to pay.
Charming.
So I got to pay you guys and educate you?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Jeez,
Louise. The other day, he corrected my grammar on a text message.
Yeah,
he said it's not too wet, and I spelled two with one O's.
Oh.
And he put T-O-O.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah,
that drives me crazy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I just couldn't let that go.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Because we don't want to call a guy that is, engaging and was nice to you polarizing.
Yeah.
Because if they're nice to you the first time they met you, special person.
Yeah. Pretty nice guy.
Yeah. Pretty nice guy. So anyway, where'd you go after that?
Ken Banks.
Okay.
Yeah, down Schulenburg, Texas.
Schulenburg, Texas. Huh?
Yeah.
I thought he was a California guy.
No. Yeah. He's South Texas. And I went down there for 2 years. He hired me, and I didn't want to leave Jody's at all because we were winning, and it was fun at Jody's. I mean, you know how it is riding with somebody like that. Yeah. And then I was going to have to go down there, and they offered me enough money. I had to take the job, and they got better down there. I went down there 2 years, but I was only there about 6 months. His wife at the time got brain cancer.
Oh,
so it started, and it went really quick. And she was 43, 44 years old at the time. And she's the greatest lady I ever met in my life. Like really, really a great person. And I stayed there for another year and a half, and they just fought that cancer. And then finally it was to the point where there wasn't any trade down there. You know how it is, South Texas.
Yeah.
So he offered me a deal to kind of reduced rate to stay there. And I said, no, I need to get back up here where the action was at. So yeah, I was there. And then I went and bought my place in Purcell. I just went to Purcell after that.
And all the action was up here, right?
There was
the majority of it.
Everything was here.
Yeah.
Now, when I moved to Purcell, there was nothing going on. I think Doug Milholland had just moved there a few months before I did, but land was cheap. At that time, doing the pleasure horses, I was running through the Midwest a lot. So getting to Michigan or Minnesota or Ohio or, North Carolina, wherever was a heck of a lot easier. And most of the futurities back then were in the Midwest, especially this time of year on. So it just made, after living down there, I was driving 7 hours, but it was 7 hours, south of here. Yeah. So it was a long drive.
7 hours before you even got to somewhere where you had to get somewhere. Yeah.
So I just kept getting the Atlas back out. But honestly, I grew up we'd moved to Oklahoma. So I graduated from high school in Oklahoma. So I'm always been an Okie. So I just kind of went, the land was affordable. I liked it up there. So I just went back there in into 94.
And that kind of turned into a little area, huh?
Yeah, right where I'm at, that's a really good little area. I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah.
Trevor's right there close. Mike Flaherty's moved in. He lives 3/4 of a mile from me. His son Matt's right next door to him. And Seven Lakes is 2 miles west of me. Gene Tech's a mile west. Silver Spurs is 2 miles east. Yeah, it's just right there.
Yeah.
I got 6 or 7 indoor arenas I can go ride at within 5 miles of me.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have an indoor.
So nobody gets sick of you. You can just go to one different one just once a week per arena.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do you do mostly now? You just trading and you're doing some ranch riders and
No, I sell some ranch riders. I don't show on the ranch ride. I hadn't showed a horse in a year. It's the longest, I think, since I was 4 years old, I haven't showed a horse. But the end of last year, I still had some of the show horses and was still doing that. And I hadn't showed a pleasure horse in 10 years probably. And I went back in the paint world and won one of the classes down there just to see if I could still do it. It paid good. And I was done when I walked out. I didn't enjoy it the whole time I did it. And afterwards, it was just a check. And I was like, I don't want, so I've always wanted to be over here doing this. Just this group's more my group. And I just made it. When Carp died, Carp always wanted me to kind of come over here and do this and
do the reining.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'd always owned horses together. And so when that kind of was a wake up call for me, I just, when he died right at the World Show that year, I said, this is it. I'm done.
Yeah. Man, that happened in a hurry too, huh?
Yeah. So, and it was a great, he went and we got to buy the one last horse together and right before he died. And that was, we still got her. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can remember calling him and he was in the hospital and talking to him for a while. And he texted me back the next day, hey, sure appreciated talking to you. That was great. And a couple of days later, he's gone. I mean, it
was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard. So that was and he was always kind of my security blanket. Like it didn't matter. He'd come and fix my toilet, right? Like just that guy. And so every time I got to a problem and when he left, I was like, and this is what I need to be doing. So I switched over at that point, got some colts and just started messing around and it's been good so far. Yeah.
It's an amazing business because no matter if you've been in the business for 1 year or 30 years, if you know how to get a horse broke and you have an eye for a good one, you can train it up a little bit and sell it and make a shit ton of money doing this.
That's the biggest thing.
And not have a whole lot of stress. You don't have to have 65 horses in training to do it.
I've got one finished horse. I just bought a finished mare I got one non-pro. That's it. And I bought her off Trevor the other day and that's it. Everything else is 2s or 3s. 1 4-year-old, I guess, but none of them ever been showed other than that one mare. And I enjoy building them. And I don't miss days. Like now I stay home. I ride 7 days a week. Like it's and I enjoy it. I want to ride. If I hit the lottery, I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. I like to ride 5, 6 head of horses a day because that may turn into 10 horses. Because if they don't ride good, I go and ride them again.
Right.
Until I get them riding where I want them. So, it works good for me. This business works good for me. Yeah.
Monica, before I came over here, Monica asked me who we were interviewing. And I said, we're interviewing Troy Compton. And then the first thing that she said was Anna Morias and something, I can't remember what the horse's name she said.
Zippo's Tiger Bar.
Zippo's Tiger Bar. I was going to say something Tiger. And Anna Morias was a reiner. She passed away a few years ago, and it's cool that you had pleasure horses for her and probably multiple world champions with her too.
Yeah, we stayed tight through the years. She was my first really big customer. Right, she always told me, she was like, when you go on your own, I want to be there. And now everybody bullshits you like that. But she came through and she called me. She was, I heard you go on your own. Let's go buy a horse. And we went and bought Zippo's Tiger Bar, who turned up to be, one of the best pleasure horses of all time. And
that's pretty cool.
And then we owned several others that world champions, Congress champions. And she always stood behind me. We'd separate. We'd get mad at one another, come back. I think we did business 3 or 4 times together. And we were always close. We always stayed close. Yeah.
Yep. So
that's crazy.
I feel from the outside looking in to the other parts of the quarter horse world right now, I feel like the rope horses and the reining horses are probably the two things that are popping the most right now. You agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. And the rope horses blow my mind. And I felt sorry for all my rope horse buddies that were trainers 10 years ago. But these guys it's going to be a hard living.
Yeah.
And now with what Trevor and all, they've done with all this stuff,
rope and fraternities.
It's great. It's amazing. And I'm glad to see it. I'm really glad because it's these horses that are selling over there.
100%.
This horse is universal to a lot of disciplines.
Yeah.
And I think people are starting to see that. I see the show horse thing dropping off a little bit, and you're getting a lot of people moving over to, the ranch riding or even moving over into the reining or whatever. So I think that, the performance horse industry is very alive and well right now.
Without a doubt. And they're using, and we've talked about that before, that one of the reasons to me the reining horse business is thriving is because if they don't work, it used to be ours that didn't work, you'd call Coop or somebody and sell them for $6,500, or he'd take them and sell them for you and send you $6,500. And now those same horses, you can sell them for anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 if they're the right kind, selling them to the rope horse guys or to the ranch riders, or there's a lot of places to go with them. And now and we probably talk about it too much, but with all that Taylor Sheridan's done with the whole Western horse thing, I mean, we sell 3 or 4 a year for $80,000 to $125,000 that somebody's just going to take home and ride around.
Oh, yeah. Unbelievable.
I mean,
the ranch riders last year at the World Show, there was one that sold for $250, and then 2 days later, $300 for another one. And nice reiners, but can't be too much. They can't spin too fast, but pretty horses. I was a little worried about the ranch riding when it first started because it was a little too ranchy for me. They wanted high-headed horses and stuff I wouldn't even ride. And now I think that the pretty aspect has come into it, and the ranch riding is alive and well, big time. It's what's saving, I think, AQHA is showing right now.
Yeah,
couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
couldn't agree more. Saving AQHA and saving. We touched a little bit on it the last show, is the Congress. I mean, they had the cutting that first week with the reining, and it was a bit of the reiners were there, but the cutters, Congress wasn't a big deal for the cutters. Now they've switched out the cutters and the ranch riders, and it is packed with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was cutters there, but it was almost like, oh, there's cutting going on here? I didn't even notice.
Did they have cutters there last year?
No, but whenever I worked for you, they did.
Yeah, they used to, but I don't think they do anymore. I don't even think they have it there anymore.
I don't think they do. It was mainly East Coast cutting. There wouldn't be very many guys that came from back there to go to it.
No, almost nobody.
Yeah.
Almost nobody. But the ranch riding's just exploded there and made it, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah, well, people like to ride the pretty long-maned horses. Like when I go sell the ranch riders, I'll run and stop them, turn them around, hand the reins off, and say, here. And they're like, oh, no, that's good. We saw what he can do. So I akin it to like a 70-year-old guy buying a Corvette.
Yeah.
They may not ever go open them up on the highway, but they enjoy having that horse that's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to go fast.
Corvette, Don?
Yeah.
Well, no, funny because I'm kind of car shopping right now. And I want a car that can do 0 to 60 in 2.7. My car can do 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. I've never done it one time. Never one time have I ever done it. And but you want to have it. It's just like you're saying. It's the same. I can't buy it.
What if I use it someday?
Yeah. What if I need it?
Might need it someday.
Yeah. I mean, it's just nice to be sitting on the horsepower.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the same. It's the same thing with people buying a reiner that, like some of our guys, they're never going to go in the show pen, but they want something that their friends can watch them spin around on when they're all going on a trail ride. It's it's Palomino with a long mane. You got a long mane Palomino with a couple of white feet that can spin around and is not going to hurt anybody. Like it's a legitimate, good-minded horse. You can ask whatever you want for him.
Oh, yeah. It's just, Taylor's with what all the stuff that's been said in Yellowstone and The Last Cowboy, he's made it cool to spend money on horses, right? Like it's cool to spend.
Yeah.
Like before it was ropers, those guys wouldn't spend any money on any horses, but now something's changed in the mentality. I don't know what it is.
Just a week ago, somebody gave $1.7 million for a rope horse.
Yeah.
I don't know the story behind it. I don't know if it's a stud, mare, gelding, what, but
that was there was just a limited. I don't claim to know the whole thing either, but I think there was just a limited number of horses in that sale, right? Like 15 or 20 horses in that sale that had the ability to. I think they're going to run for $1 million. And anybody in that, they had to be in the sale though to be eligible for the $1 million.
Oh, gotcha.
And
I was wondering what the circumstances are behind that, because this was a prospect, right?
Yeah.
This wasn't even a broke horse.
And again, I don't really know. I mean, this is what I think I know.
These are facts.
Hey,
we're always very clear about.
We don't know facts, but he knows the hell out of grammar. English teacher Tom down there will get you straightened out.
He's polarizing.
Yeah,
very real polarizing.
The facts may be wrong, but the grammar's good.
Yeah.
No.
So now, why don't you take your guys 0 to 60? That's not a very big deal, and you haven't done it. You haven't dropped it to. You haven't tried to go 2.8 seconds?
No, not really. The other day, leaving the place trying the golf clubs, he probably did in 3.8 seconds. But I think he could have went harder.
I stepped on it. We were getting onto the freeway, and I stepped on it, and Gunny, it just stuck him right to the back of the chair, and I said, "Yeah, it's good, isn't it?" Oh yeah.
I fucking hate his car.
I rode in a Corvette 2 weeks ago, and the guy took me on a little test run like you want to do. You sit right on top of the rear wheels. It's like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, feel the road.
You were a 4-wheel drive truck. You hear the tires humming underneath you the whole time. Yeah. But they are fast.
Yeah. Well, Gunny hates my car because
you can tell him.
You want me to tell it?
You can tell him.
Yeah, because when you go around a corner, it's a Mercedes, and it's got the sides that hold you up.
Every time he turns left, it pokes you right in the fat. It pokes me right here in the damn fat. Turn left, turn right. Fuck, this is a fat shaming car is what it is. The hell with this car.
First time he ever rode this fat shaming son of a bitch. Oh, yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I can't wait till he gets a new car. But you know what? The back seats in this car are very nice. I think it's made for, being driven. It's made for somebody to be driven in the back seat. It's not made for somebody to ride shotgun.
I don't necessarily think that's wrong, but it's fun. It's a nice car. That's why I have an old car, because I can't find anything I like better.
It's got an old car. Yeah.
Yep.
Now you said you showed when you were 4. Was that the first time you showed?
Oh, probably before that. But first picture I got to be showing was probably at 4. Yeah.
And your family, were they all real horsey?
Well, my granddad, my mom's dad, was world champion stair roper 3 times. And he was the first living inductee in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. And so I grew up with that rodeo side. He roped. He won his win in Cheyenne when he was 77. He's still, if you look he's the oldest world champion. He won his last tripping championship when he was 59, I think.
Cow.
Yeah, so he'll always hold that record. And so I grew up around a lot of cowboy stuff. And
what's his name?
Ike Rude.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my dad's side of the family was northwestern Oklahoma. He was just a ranch cowboy. And then he got hired right when the show horse thing started. I was born in 64. So we moved up to Iowa, I think in 65. And then Tommy Mannion noticed him. So we went over there, and then we moved to Kansas, and then we were there for 7 years and went to grade school there. And then we moved to Edmond, Oklahoma, because that's where the pleasure horse thing was happening. And then he left to go to Denver, got killed in a car wreck when I was 11, going to Denver, the stock show. So I just kind of took over family business after that. Yeah.
At 11, you took over the business. Wow.
Yeah, I won Fort Worth when I was 13 in the senior pleasure. So I knew I could hang with them. Yeah. So
you were on the radar early from the top guys.
Yeah.
That's what Tommy said. You had a job, and then
when I walked out at Fort Worth, because my dad worked for him, he said, "You've always got a job with me."
Yeah.
But I got beat Tommy, I could beat all of them when I was at. So, And then I sold that mare to Jody, and she went and won the world, I think, like the next year. Well, Jody bought her, and like 6 months later, won the world with her. So I knew I could train the horses with them. And I showed in the open. I never showed much in the youth. Yeah. So, but that all went, it was me and my mom. I was the only child. So I kind of had to make things work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So,
Right. How was the trade in the pleasure horse business?
how was it?
Yeah.
It was good. It was the, we'd go make, that's what we've always done. I grew up doing that. It was halter and pleasure growing up when I was a kid. So my dad would go over to Sonny's or Dick Cole's barn and buy horses. We'd fit them up, and I'd go, be grand champion youth gelding or youth mare 13 and under, because shows were big back up to the Midwest then. And then I'd go show it in the pleasure, and I'd win the pleasure. We'd sell it every time. So that's still kind of what I'm doing today. Yeah, just a little different deal.
Yeah.
Just build them.
How do you think it is now?
I don't care to participate in it anymore. It doesn't attract me. So it's a different game now. I don't. The horses are different.
But you think the trade is still pretty good, or just for the top end?
It's such a small group. It's just for the top end. I don't think there's they don't have a big following. It's I don't see it. I talk to them still, the pleasure horse trainers, but it's not growing from what I can tell. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about the reiners, is it's global.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
I would love to. I looked at going to Graham, Texas this past weekend.
Yeah.
It was crowded down there. You can't even find a little horse show to go to now.
Yeah.
I was like, hell, when I got into this, I thought it was going to be a little easier. And then all of a sudden it just blew up, which is great. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to find horse shows where you get, they've got 200 stall waiting list at Waco.
Waco's sold out.
Okay, I went there 3 years ago, and it was the greatest little horse show. I was like, I can't believe we're in Waco, Texas. It's in July. I hate it here, but we had fun showing. And now it's crowded, and it's going to be hot as hell down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah. Most likely. Last year, it was unbelievably nice.
Yeah.
Remember that? It was cool, and
But
that is not.
No,
that's
this
not
week
normal.
it's gonna be hot.
Yeah, this week it's probably going to be hot, and but that's. I think I had somebody call me and say, "What? Why is Waco doing no drive-ins? Like, you have to have a stall
for the schedule."
Yeah, 100%. I feel like if they allowed drive-ins, I think there'd be 200 drive-ins.
And then you're showing all day and all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
No.
And be honest with you, a lot of our little local shows in Texas and Oklahoma can be that way a little bit. They can be, okay, we're going to start at 7. We got a lot of horses to go today. Not done till 11 or midnight. Man, that's torture.
Yeah.
It is.
And that Waco show's a high profile show. They don't need to put up with that. They need to make it nice for the exhibitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you think of last weekend, there was
3 horse shows at the same time.
3 horse shows at the same time that people from this area could have went to any of the 3. I mean, they were all Denver,
North Carolina,
and
Graham, Texas.
Yep.
Yeah. I never been to Graham, Texas, but
I'm sure there was another horse show somewhere. I just said,
but I mean, in this area.
Yeah.
I mean, that, like, people from here, like, there was people from here that went to North Carolina, went to Denver, I mean, you got a lot of options now, and it's almost a little bit overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And in North Carolina, they were showing all day and into the night. I'm sure a few days, just one day. In in Denver, I'm sure they were too. I'm sure they were both busy.
Yeah, I'm sure they all had all the horses, and then you come off of a weekend like that, and then Waco, which is right in our backyard, basically is sold out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's going.
I'm not going.
I'm not going either.
Everybody's not going. We're not going.
No. Cade and Mandy are going.
Yeah, but we're a big part of
going.
nobody.
You're
aren't
not
we?
going?
No.
Oh.
We're not going. I'm going to go
know
in
that.
the slide contest. I got a slide contest horse. No, he's going to
No
be down
Hollins.
there.
No Hollins. Yeah.
No all-ins.
He's going to be down there.
Yeah, he's there. Promise you, he's there.
He's the Giada Caparzi has him. Dax.
What day are you going down?
I think I show Friday.
Maybe I'll go.
I slide Friday. I'll go Friday.
Yeah, maybe I'll go with you. Call me.
You want to ride my motorcycle?
If you get it running, you
Oh,
gotta get it running.
I'll get it running.
That'd be awkward. We have. Probably there's a picture somewhere, me and him on a motorcycle together. We've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Back before you were total germaphobe. You could...
No, it was.
No,
during,
I was drunk.
Oh, you were drunk.
He was,
Yeah.
He just won a bunch of money and he was drunk. Get on, Tom. We're going to celebrate.
Yep.
My little Honda Ruckus.
Yep. We gave that ruckus all it could handle.
Yeah. It wouldn't have gone uphill.
Nope. That ruckus was giving it, just on the flat ground. We went through a little sandy spot and we about bogged her out. Yep. For sure we did.
Yeah, I drove by Latimer, Iowa this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I went up to Rochester, Minnesota to a dirt bike race. My son and I do. We go watch at least one outdoor national a year. And we drove right by there. And I remember thinking, what, it just right off the interstate?
Oh, yeah.
You could see that.
Yep.
Dudley's Corner.
Yep.
Yeah. I tried to look. Is it still there?
I don't know if it's still there or not. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since
I remember driving. We used to take off on trailer runs, like run up to there looking for horses right after the World Show. And it was so cold up there. I don't know how anybody rode horses up there.
No, it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was so bad because I can remember working for Jim Dudley right there, Latimer, Iowa, Dudley's Corner. We would come out the whole day, the start of the day, every day. The first thing you did was go out and empty all the water buckets, knock out the ice out of the water buckets, and then somebody'd follow behind with a manure spreader and throw all the ice cubes into the manure spreader and take them out and refill the water buckets every morning.
And you weren't thinking about Bob Avila or Al Dunning then, were you?
I should.
Yeah,
I didn't, but I grew up in Wisconsin. I
So
didn't
you're
know
used
any
to it.
better. Yeah, we would ride all day and then go play hockey outside at night, shovel up the arena and have hockey practice. I mean, I didn't know any better. And it was, but yeah, it was tough. And it's that little area right there. That's funny. If it wasn't for Dudley's Corner, if it wasn't for the fact, talking about going back to where you saying that, you didn't get paid for a while, I always got paid. Dudley was good about always paying, but I was good at always spending a little more than I got paid. And, cause they had the Viking strip club right down the road. And that was a bad
Let me tell you
thing.
something. They were all Vikings in there, okay?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It wasn't the highest end girls, but
Oh, my buddy Thomas bar.
yeah.
The B crew.
Yeah. Hey, they were the B crew, but that's what you get in Iowa.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like
Corn fed. They
yeah.
were corn fed.
It wasn't like the B crew was here and the A crew was there was no A crew. It was the B crew.
They worked in the strip club at night and they played football at the university during the day.
Yeah, right.
So anyway,
That's awesome.
yeah, if it wasn't for Dudley's Corner, because he would let me charge food, I could go over there and eat. And he'd let me charge food. And oh my gosh, I remember that crew. I mean, we would work and we worked hard, but it was different because Dudley was great to work for.
Right.
I mean, anybody that knows Jim Dudley, I mean, he's just a good dude. And he was great to work for, and he made it fun for everybody. Everybody. He had a good crew, and we would lunchtime, noon every day. Noon, we would quit at 11:55, and one guy had to go over to Dudley's Corner and pick up everybody's lunch order, and then we come back to the old shitty trailer house that. You couldn't get in the shower. You'd have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Otherwise, it'd fall through the floor. And we'd all watch All My Children every day. Every single day for 2 years. I got so hooked on All My Children.
Because there was nothing else to watch, right?
I don't know, but I don't even know if it was that good. But when you're with a group, and then it's a thing.
There's probably like one station out there.
Yeah, there probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably wasn't a lot of options, but it was.
Did you ride any by his horse? He had a big time pleasure all around stud then. A very
Bar time.
big time one.
Scotch Bar Time.
Yeah. Did you ride any of those or?
Yeah. They were not in the top of they weren't Zippo Pine bars, but I had some good Scotch Bar Times. Yeah.
Yeah, and he, Dud taught me. He taught me the mechanics of. I was a kid that grew up. My dad was a great horseman and a great horse trainer, and taught me 90 5% of what I know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more, we trained everything. Whatever was hot, we trained. If barrel horses were hot, we trained barrel horses. If it was rope horses, we trained rope horses. We trained everything. But Dudley taught me the mechanics of how to get one to lope good.
Mm-hmm.
And his deal was never about having the brokest horse. It was about just getting them to drive up underneath themselves, be flat-kneed, and then Jody and Gil and, all those guys would come up and watch them just lope around. He didn't want them over broke. He wanted them to lope good and have those guys think they could make them superstars. Yeah. And that was our whole deal. I mean, we are in the middle of freaking nowhere, and they have to, if they came there, they came to buy horses.
Oh yeah. It is in the middle of nowhere. Like,
yeah.
It's a long ways. There's no neighbors up there at all.
No. Well, the biking.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Did you know the people that worked at the gas station doing on a name basis?
Well, his brother owned it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Dudley's Corner, but Jim owned the horse part of it, and then his brother owned the Dave, I think, a long time ago. But yeah, he owned the gas station. Truck stop. It was a truck stop. It was a pretty big truck stop.
Was Dean Landers still around up there when you were?
Yeah, Dean Landers was down in Des Moines.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember going to Dean Landers' place with Lily to look at horses one time.
Yeah. Yeah. And Scott Tardy too was down. Wasn't he at Dean Landers?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. He had a lot of good horses.
Yeah.
But a lot of he goes crazy times. Iowa used to have a lot of horse trainers. There's hardly anything up there now.
J.R. Reichert.
No, there's a lot of trainers up there. Just the horse shows were huge up there. We used to go horse show up until 10 years ago. I used to go up there and just put hundreds of points on horses in a week. Like 7-day run and all that. It was all the farmers' kids up there, and it's gone away now. I don't know what's happened up there. All the state organizations have kind of gone away with the AQHA thing a little bit.
Yeah. 7-day run was the deal. I mean, that was,
Hog Expo would go on at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dudley sent me to the 7-day run. First time. First show I go to after I go to work for Dudley, he sends me to the 7-day run.
What was the 7-day run? What
it was in Des Moines. It was just a 7 days of quarter horse shows. Every day is this.
I think it was one of the first circuits in the country.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe. And everybody went. I mean, Lily came up. I mean, everybody went there. It was a big deal. And first one, the credit card didn't work. I didn't have a hotel room. I mean, it was a disaster. But Dudley was a disaster. I mean, I love the guy, but he was a disaster. And I had to stay in a freaking camper trailer with Dave Kunkel. And just a small, it wasn't like today's camper trailer. It wasn't like my bus. It was just a little camper trailer. You open the door and you jump up in the middle. There's no bathroom. If you wanted, he parked close enough to the bathroom in the barn that you could go out and use it. And there is nobody in the world that snored louder than Dave Kunkel. And he would snore so loud I could not fall asleep. And I got to where I'd knock on the side of the trailer and he quit snoring for a minute and then I could fall asleep. And then I'd wake up a couple hours later with him just knocking it out, and I'd knock on the side of that thing and he'd wake up and then I'd fall. And the next morning he wakes up, he says, I didn't sleep with a shit. Some little fucking kids were out there knocking on the side of the trailer the whole time. To this day, I don't think I've ever told him it was me. But
Yeah.
But that was my first foray into the Dudley and the 7-day run. But I remember that Lily showed up and I couldn't believe he drove all the way up here from Texas. And his rig he had a big semi then.
I think I was there. What year did you say you came down here?
I came down in 88, but that would have been probably, when I worked for Dudley, was probably 86.
I think it's the only time he went there. I think we went to St. Louis, we went to Berrien Springs, Michigan, and we went to the 7-day run on the way home. And look, we did that all the time. We stayed on the road just with that big semi. And yeah, it was fun.
And that semi was spotless. And I don't know if it's true or not, but somebody told me he would stop before he get to the horse show and clean up his rig. And
we never did that, but I can remember in California getting through clipping horses at 2:00 in the morning because we'd always take, 3 trailer loads, and we were being out there at 4:00 in the morning washing the rigs and putting Armor All on the tires.
Yeah.
And we had 2 semis and a 6-horse we were running then, and not getting any sleep and running like Santa Barbara or something, but our rigs always looked good.
Yeah. Oh,
He'd get out and have his cowboy hat, his spurs, and he was ready to go. Just everything was just right. Yeah.
There was nothing he was prouder of than his
Now,
trucks.
Ted Turner, he will stop and armor
Yeah, I've
his
heard that
tires
too.
before he gets there.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
He'll do that.
Yeah, he'd be a great one to have on the show
He should.
sometime,
Yeah,
huh?
he's good. He's good. Ted actually got me the job with Jody. Ted did a lot. Like, he helped me out a lot. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good times.
Should be fun to talk to Ted.
Yeah. He's been around for a long time. I remember when I was a kid, him coming up there, and he bought Scott Stubblefield, who was a trainer. He had white rigs, really nice rigs, Western haulers with orange stripes on them. And he bought all Scott stuff. And I think that's how he got the orange. I don't know. You need to ask him.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting question.
Yeah.
I bet he'd drink one of these ranch fuels.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. Orange Range Fuel. It's my favorite.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know that we would get into all of Ted's stories because there's a couple of them that are a little crazy, but no, that was, you'd be a good guy.
Oh, leave us hanging.
No, I'm staying away from that. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, if they ever did a history of this area back in the 80s.
Oh, right.
Man.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I came in right after all the...
They busted DKG, and I hadn't been here but about a month or two, and the girl that was working there in the halter horse bar said, come on, let's get in the work truck. I was working at Dave's, and we drove where DKG was, went back over where High Point's at.
Okay.
Back over there. He was Pee Wee Griffin was his name.
Yeah.
And so they busted him, and we drove, and there was those black sedans lined up all and down. That ditch is kind of funny there,
Mm-hmm.
and they were lined, and they were walking, FBI agents with their windbreakers on, were walking the pastures 5 feet apart. I mean, there was hundreds of FBI agents all over that thing. It was pretty crazy to see that. I mean, we used to go over there and have parties when the government owned it. And we'd be having pool parties, and we'd have the FBI guys walking around with their machine guns out and everything right around us, and it was nuts.
Yeah.
What'd they get busted for? Cartel drugs, something?
No, he was Cuban drug dealer.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Cocaine.
Everything was pretty much the Cubans. A lot of cocaine. Yeah.
But Pee Wee, who's the one that had the cigar boats that ran? Wasn't it Pee Wee? Yeah, that was running drugs from Cuba to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, he was big into the offshore boat racing thing. I remember we worked 7 days a week at Dave's, and I was always really dark. And I was about 18 when I went to work there. And I knew who Pee Wee was. And we were in there. I had to clean water. It was like I was picking up rocks in the pasture, whatever. And I'm in there, and I see him walk in, and I'm, oh my God, it's Pee Wee Griffin. I'm cleaning the waters, and he started asking me where the boss was in Spanish. And at that time, I didn't really know any Spanish. And I just looked at him. I didn't say anything because I'm scared to death of the guy, right? And he starts yelling at me, like, "Donde el patron?" And I said, "I'm sorry, sir. I don't speak any Spanish." He goes, "Oh, you're a white boy." And I was like,
That's a good story. I like that.
Yeah. Pee Wee and Doug were pretty tight, I believe.
Yeah. And then, there was you go on Netflix and you'll see a lot of history of the horse show business on there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch that. I've seen it advertised.
Cocaine Cowboys.
Yeah.
George is a preacher now. And he went to, and we've had a few. I had another friend of mine that was a Cuban drug dealer that went to prison and came out a preacher. Yeah.
It's not the same George that's Blow. That's
No.
George. No, he's in jail.
That was a different guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Medellin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember sitting there playing poker. Doug would have me come over, and we'd play poker, and it was me and Tommy Mannion and Steve Heckerman, and there was the whole little Dave Page, that whole
Clint
little
was in
group.
there.
Clint Haverty was there. Yeah, that was a whole group, and man, what a good place or bad place for a young guy. Like I was in my mid-20s, probably mid to mid-20s, I would guess, sitting there with those guys. And I was just, it's pretty cool. Listening to their stories and listening to Lily after he won the Texas Classic. He goes out with his credit card and buys a brand new Mercedes-Benz and listening to them all giving Tommy shit about some of the maybe less than perfect things that he's done. Yeah, and Tommy goes, boys, just as confident as he can be, boys. The only thing that I've ever been accused of is singing too loud in church. And I knew better, obviously, but man, it was fun with that group. Larry Sullivan, it was
yeah, they were and to get included in that group, like you say, be sitting there with those guys, that was quite because you got invited. You just didn't show up.
Right.
You had to be invited.
So is that the same time as the Texas Mafia place, the Cutter Bill place?
Cobble Ranch?
I think that was a little before when I was doing all that with those guys. That was probably, the early 80s?
Yeah, because my mom was actually dating a guy that was in there, so I got to be around a little bit. What was Muscles?
Muscles Foster.
Yeah, I got to meet Muscles Foster.
Yeah.
In fact, when that was going down, I was at the cutting fraternity that year. Buddy Heflin was that guy my mom was dating, and he was best of friends with those guys. And I got to go down there and meet all those guys, and that was like probably 6 months before they came in with that off the coast up there with that big load and got busted.
Yeah, no, so I read that book and I went down the rabbit hole of all the news articles and everything I could find on Rex Cobble because it was cool because that place out on 35, I mean, that was iconic, and Cutter Bill and the Western stores. And, it's just fading away now. It's sad to see, but that place was iconic, and it was
one of the only indoor arenas around here at that time.
Yeah, and it was where it had so much history, and it was so cool to me. So I went down that rabbit hole, and you read the Cobble side of it. There's no, he never had anything to do with it.
He didn't.
Well, then I go ask Larry Sullivan and Carol Rose and all these people that knew what was going on, and they go, oh yeah, he knew. Yeah, it wasn't that he wasn't framed.
It was
allegedly. Maybe it wasn't Larry and Carol that said it.
It was allegedly. You're gonna have a freaking horse head on your bed if you keep talking.
Yeah.
We gotta limit the stories. It's hearsay.
Well, we only speak truths here. We only speak truths, and we have perfect grammar.
No, well,
yeah, it was a different time back then. Like they'd drive down here today. There was only a few places down 377.
Yeah,
I remember. I used to Friday nights. Dave's place was right on the road, and we were the last place before you'd hit Pilot Point. So on Friday nights, I'd go out there and take a good loping horse, and I'd take my shirt off and go lope up and down that fence there. You'd always have you a good
try to hook up. Go fishing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, and awesome. you come over the Red River, and it used to be like Carol Rose, and then I think Checkmate right south of that, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then
Par 3.
Yeah.
Par 3, right.
Yeah. And then you're going down and you got Dave Page, or not Dave Page, Mike Hughes.
Mike Hughes
you got all those places. Redgate, they're all gone now.
Yeah.
Well, horse money only lasts so long usually, So
yeah.
But no, it's crazy. There's all the places down here now. It's not even the same as it was back then. But this was the happening place back then. So there wasn't another show horse community like this ever.
Yeah, I don't think there is now either, is there?
No. You got Ocala, but that's limited to what they do down there, and then really Scottsdale and here at Purcell, Weatherford.
Yeah, Scottsdale is a unique place, and we've talked about that before. Scottsdale being Yeah, it's booming.
Southern California used to be booming, but it's not really anymore because the politics have kind of
There's
made
no
it hard to make a living.
horse show industry out there anymore.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's a shame because that was the best. Back when I showed out there, that was the best place to show horses. Yeah,
it's crazy to me too. There's so much money to me out there. There's so much. You would just think that would be that would be the mecca.
You know, most of my customers over the years, were from California, West Coast. So it's kind of sad to see it go away, but you can't, there's no horse shows left out there. But they had the reining by the bay or whatever that is now. And that's the only reining left out there, isn't it?
And almost everybody from there. Well, they have it again now.
Yeah.
They have it again now, but it's not a reining, but it's not called the reining by the bay.
Like a woodside slide or something.
But most of those people come from Arizona or Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I went out there partly worked for Doug, but also collection was just coming around back then. And those vaqueros, all the vaquero traditions were out there. Well, nobody back here was doing that. So that was a big thing about going out there is I got, Benny Catron.
Horses broke in the face.
Benny Catron used to take me behind the barn at every horse show and show me groundwork, not riding, but groundwork.
Yeah, right.
And I use that stuff at least once a week. I have one day a week. I usually at least one day a week, don't I? I just go do round pin work with everything.
Right.
So I learned a lot from just all those California horsemen out there. There's guys out there. We go to horse shows. They'd be riding the worst, longest pastern things you could, like stuff you wouldn't even saddle, and but we're horse trainers and a lot of Portuguese guys and things like that. And I learned a lot out there about collection. At that time, we were searching for a collection still.
Yeah. And that the West Coast really probably changed the reining horse business more than anything.
Well, I watched Boomer Nicks run, and that changed it. But then where I really, of course, Bob came back in the next year and won it, 94. And then, but when Todd came in 95, I was sitting in the stands. I had just changed. It's just changed.
Yeah, everything changed. Yeah, that group, like Boomer Nick was the first horse I ever saw walk in the pen and everybody stood up and started clapping. That's never happened before that I could recall.
Right.
Or at any reining that I'd been to. It changed the game.
Well, that's when I started getting attracted to it because there started being collection in the reining horses.
Right.
And before then, I didn't care for it much. But I was like, oh, okay, we can do collection. I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when it started. And I started messing with carp on a few of them then. Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Good times.
It's awesome.
Well, boys.
Another good episode.
I don't have any more stupid questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, Troy.
Yeah.
It was fun. Thanks for coming down.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Hearing those stories around town here are pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's fun for me, too, because a little before your time, and just that much before my time, but I knew Troy had been around for some of it. It was crazy times.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't believe me when I tell them the stories.
Yeah.
I don't tell much of them.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the next episode. If we don't get canceled after this one, then we'll go to the next.
It'll be an after dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll be on for Netflix.
The show.
We'll shut this one down.
Yeah.
Maybe just audio, no video. No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Yeah.
Different Troy Compton.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Grow the show.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.